All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Coffee Q&A, your daily dose of coffee Q&A here Monday through Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern. How y'all doing today? Welcome back to the show. Good to have you. It is, what is it? It is June 10th, Monday, and we've got a very special item here for you that I just had to get. This is the new Hario V60 Sweden. And this, as you can see in the illustration, is a whole nother type of brewing device, but it's not really revolutionary or new. It's just got a revolutionary design. It's kind of like one of those. It reminds me with this pattern, right? Of those Pratt and Whitney kind of E or GE E36 engines, the ones that have the external fan blades, the newer generation of aircraft engines that they're trying to push. But I saw this at the Chicago Expo, and I was like, wow, this is like the coolest thing that Hario's created in my opinion, in years. Like I've used V60s, I've got a whole bunch of them, and they're cool. They're kind of the basic standard in our industry today. But you know what? Ceramic, glass, copper, whatever, who cares? Really, who cares? It's just like if you have one, you've got them all. But then this one, when I saw this at the show, I was like, wow, that is just kind of cool looking. Like, it's the first V60 that I've actually wanted to buy in a long time. Actually, they have another one. The evidently Hario of Taiwan sells something called the Great Wave of Kanagawa. Like, if you're familiar with that famous artwork from Japan, they've actually put that on the side of a nice indigo blue ceramic V60, and I was like, wow, that's super cool too. But the thing about Hario is that Hario USA is a really interesting company, and I don't know the history of Hario USA, because when we started retailing many years ago, we reached out to whoever the Hario distributor was, and back then they were just so difficult to deal with as a small retailer. It was like, why are we even bothering? Right? So I just really, as a retailer operator, I haven't really dealt with Hario at all, even though I like to use their products like this Bono kettle and the newer Fit kettle, the black one. For the most part, it's just such a pain. They've been such a pain to deal with. And so, like, I don't know, they might have changed or whatever it is. But then I was talking to the rep, and so there's a video from the Chicago Expo, and the guy's really nice. But, I'm like, so when are these going to be available? He's like, well, we have all this stuff available. It's going to come out in the next few months. And, well, what about this one? The Suiren. This is the one that I'm most interested in. He's like, well, probably by the end of the year. I was like, the end of the year? Is this like one of those like concept cars? You go to the car shows and they're like never going to release it? What's up, Dan? How are you, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. And so I was like, but then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to look online, because there was a couple of things they were saying, like it's not quite finished. And I was like, well, okay, whatever. And so I looked online, and there was Hario Japan, or hario-official.com, has this on their website as available for sale. And I was like, well, that's got to be a way to get it. And I was thinking, should I buy it? Then I looked on Amazon Japan, which one of my friends called JapanAzon. I don't know if that's racist or not, and there it was available, 2,500 yen for this particular Suiren. And as you can see, this Suiren is a smoked version, right? So it's gonna be smoked in color. There are other things where you can replace the petals and have colors, and they have some special edition colors now. And they actually, at the week that I ordered this, like the next week, then I suddenly started seeing the other colors. I was like, darn it, now I have to make another order. But anyway, we've got a bunch of stuff that I picked up from Japan Amazon, and we're going to go through it. But we're going to go look at this today here and see exactly what this Hario Switch is all about, or this Hario Suiren is all about. So we hear Sweden, coffee dripper V60. What do they say here? So its materials are resin, PCT resin, polypropylene. That's what it says here in polypropylene. Do not store resin products near open flames, as it could catch on fire. And then welcome to our world of coffee. Oh, nice. Thanks, man. Thanks. Okay, so let's get into it. We have a little tab here. I'm going to pull that open. again, welcome to our world of coffee. Well, that's cool. A little more details about it. So the PCT range 100 Celsius to 120 Celsius. So don't exceed 120 Celsius when you're brewing with it, because I guess it could melt, right? It could melt at that point. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Hold on one second. Let me just make an adjustment here. I just wanted to turn on. Didn't hear this. Whoops. How does that start recording? What I wanted to do is I wanted to hit the record buttons on these two cameras that I'm using so that I can utilize. Of course, it doesn't tell me if it's recording. All right, well, I guess we'll just have to hope that it is recording. Because I was thinking I'm going to use some of the video from these cameras to, in the actual, I'm going to make another video about the Suiren. And yeah, anyway, so let's go back to it. Mom, how are you, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. So here we are. We're going to open it up like this. And what do we have in here? We've got the base. Now, the base is actually two pieces, right? There's two pieces here. I can pop those separate. So now these two pieces are available. Now, here's something on, if you go to the JapanAzon, you will see that there are these pieces you can just buy by itself. I think they're like 1,000 yen or something like that. So you can buy these by themselves. And then now we have the petals. And these are the petals. Ooh. There are two boxes of petals. Now, I'm not, oh, there's also instructions. Let's look at the instructions. I mean, I could probably figure it out, but let's look at the instructions here. Instruction manual. And so it says here, thank you for purchasing this Hario product. Please be sure that this instruction manual is read thoroughly in order to use the product correctly. After reading it, store in its place for future reference. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so we have ribs. There's 12 ribs, so each one has 6 in a box. Okay, so ring. So remove the ring and from the cover. Okay, we did that already. Now you want to insert the pieces into the the Suiren, and then you make sure the slit is correct. The Hario logo is going to be here, and that's going to go on the exterior. And then that will then fit into, you can just insert the body into the 12 ribs and open it up. In case you're wondering, like, my Japanese is really excellent, right? It does have the English right here. I am perpetrating a fraud here for you. All right, so let's have a look at precautions for use. Blah blah blah. Who reads this stuff? Nobody reads this, but we will do it correctly today. We'll go. So here we go. We got our little box of petals. So I think when you buy the petals, because you can buy the petals separately, and they come in collections of colors. I think they do come 6 to a set. All right, so here we're going to use this rib. Now it does say here, okay, here we go. If we flip it over, there's the Hario here. You can see the Hario, and the little button. And I think we're going to put it like this, click that in like that. And there it is. There it is, like that. All right. And another one. So once you figure it out, it should go fairly quickly. Right? Just chook. chook. Nice. Now we're halfway there. Oh, nice. So then we get the other one. Again, make sure that this is facing down and chook. So 12 ribs. Wait a minute. Oh, there's one more. I was like, wait a minute. What happened to my last one? Okay, there we go. The Suiren finished. Like a big fan. See, it's like a fan. It's just like that aircraft fan. Oh, actually, that could be quite fun to watch for like hours on end. All right, now we do have a base, right? This base then fits into, there are slots for the base, so it fits all together, and then you can kind of click it in place. That way now you have a little handle. Whoops, little handle. Oh, all right, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I remember it looking a little bit more wider in person, but that's just poor memory. All right, let's put all this away. Now we're gonna, so the one thing that's interesting about the Suiren box is just because you can fold it up, it is smaller than every other Hario box that's out there. Like, and I'm gonna show you some things for reference just to get an idea of it. But like, for example, this is the traditional V60 box, right? And then the Hario, the Suiren. So very much smaller in many respects than the V60. And then we've got the switch box. Right, here's the switch box. So smaller dimension, right? And then now this one is probably not a great example, but this is the one that I got for the what do you call this? The W60. Here's my W60, right? W60. This is actually like a display model or something that Hario gave to me, or Pete Licata, Hario through Pete Licata gave to me last year. So, you know, real small, but then we have got our, now they say that this pattern is very much, unfortunately, I don't have the, we can look here at this illustration, because of all the things that I have here, I have a V60 box, but I don't have any V60s here at the house. And I'm like, what? They're all in one of my boxes in storage, and I haven't dug it out. But we can kind of see in this illustration that there are big ribs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think there's 12 ribs on this one. Let's go to our switch and we'll count the ribs, because what the guys told me is that this ribbing is the same as the large ribbing on the V60s. So let's have a look. All right, so theoretically the shape should be, it looks bigger because of this, the way that it's shaped here, but it should be the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think there's 13 on this one, right? Is that right? 13 there. And then let's look at our W60. Okay, the W60, it seems more. So let's start at this one, right? Well, let's start at the one that has a little bit of dirt on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, 12. Okay. So that must mean there's 12 on this one as well. And just my inability to count. Now, if we put this in here, the shape is relatively the same, right? Look at that. So we should expect, actually, if I look at this, yeah, it looks like that's also 12. So we should be expecting similar performance from this Suiren as we would with the others. Now we also have the drip assist. Let's see if the drip assist will work on the Suiren. Oh, look at that. You can use drip assist. with the Suiren. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Not bad. All right, that's kind of cool. It's a little bit strange, but that's okay. Let's go back to this. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to do some brewing to give it a try and see just how we like it. Like, here's something that I wanted to tell you guys that I wanted to share with you. You know, we'll try to do a lot of tastings of coffees here on these shows and on this channel, but you know, I never really come up with very much on. I tend not to draw salutes on any of the products because you know what? They do a job. They do a job. They brew coffee. They make coffee for you, and it's you know there. I don't know if there's really any major differences. Now that I know there's plenty of people that disagree. You know, I've had people come up to me in person and be like, "I think you're wrong," and I was like, "Okay, that's good. I appreciate that," but I just don't know if there's really that tremendous a difference as far as the physicality of brewing. Like, are you going to get tremendously different results from similar brewing options? Like, let's say V60, or let's say the Suiren versus the W60 versus the switch versus the origami, and you know whatever else is a conical pour over brewer. I leave that to you because really all of these factors, a lot of what works great for you or what the best results will be based on the technique that you're using, whatever technique you decide to use, the quantity of coffee, the quality of coffee, the quantity and quality of the water, and the temperature you bring. There's so many factors involved. Gray Suit says it's a freaky looking brew. Yeah, man, it's a very freaky. Look at this thing. I kind of dig it. I just love the shape and the size and the style. And if you go to Japan, you know, Amazon Japan, I do have a link down below in the description for it. Both links to the official website for Hario Japan that has whatever detail they have on, and then as well as so on Hario Japan, 2,750 yen or 2,750 yen, which is, I don't know, $17. Or if you go to JapanAzon, the link is down below, 2,500 yen, which is $15 or so. So now here's the thing. So like if you look at the prices on Hario Japan's website, which is, you know, the MSRP, strange enough, their MSRP does not match the price that they have on the Hario store on Amazon Japan. But if you look at Hario USA's websites, they're about 2 times the price. So when this comes to the United States, supposedly by the end of the year, this will cost from Hario, I believe, about 30. I'm guessing $30. I have no idea what the MSR. They're probably going to be very upset that I made this video and said these things, but oh well, you know, I just can't wait. But it's a nice kind of shape, right? Look at that, and the base. Now here's the thing. I've seen other. There's a website. There's a YouTube channel called Meter Coffee, METER, and there's this Japanese woman. She's in Japan. She has her own coffee shop, and she's done like 3 videos about this. It's all in Japanese, but she does put like subtitles so you can see it. I watched a little bit of it, but she talks a lot about it. And the nice thing about this, you can put it straight into your brewing. So you do not need to use the base. You can use the base, especially if you're going to use something, let's say, that's wider. The base will help. Otherwise, you know, let's say if we're using this wide thing, it sits further in, right? But in something like this, we can just go straight without. Actually, maybe we'll brew like this today and see what that's all about. All right, so let's give it a try now. We're going to push all this to the side. I got some water boiling here. Put these aside before I break them. And then you can use, if you have the drip assist will work. Looks like it will work. So that's kind of cool. Pete Licata has his signature right there. Hi, Pete. All right, so let's get into our coffee. Ooh, I'm going to break something. Here's our scale. Today's coffee is one that we roasted the other day. This was a coffee gifted from a friend of mine, TJ Ryan. He works with he knows a group called the Milfaco. Milfaco is a co-op down in what they call Region 12, which is the southern part of the Philippines, the Bukidnon area. This is a wash typical. And speaking of Bukidnon, they just had the Philippine Coffee Fest this past weekend in Manila, where Region 12 farmers really kind of swept the competition and took a lot of the top honors. So there's a lot of nice coffee being grown in the Philippines. The most difficult thing about Philippine coffee is that it's very, if you're based in the United States, it's very difficult to get high quality Philippine coffee. There are decent Philippine coffees that are available, but really high quality ones, the true, like they're difficult to get. I mean, we've pretty much had the result of smuggling techniques over the last 10 years to bring the coffees in. But what can you do? What can you do? All right, so let's do it. We're going to make 24 grams of coffee here. Make our typical 12-ounce serving. As you can see, it's a little bit, it doesn't look like that. I always have to tell you this because it looks lighter in person than on the reference monitor, but it is expertly roasted. Expertly roasted. Like the roast profiling of this coffee is amazing. Like, you just can't imagine who would be able to roast such exquisite roasted coffee. All right, let's put that aside. Now we're going to get our grinder. We're going to stay with our typical grind setting that we've been using right here about the 20 mark. All right, so there we're going to stay with that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. With our trusty Barazza Virtuoso. Let's make sure we get it all ground through. Excellent. Okay, so here's our coffee. Now we're going to take our brewer, and this is actually a Hario filter that I just happen to have lying around. I actually have a big pack of it somewhere, but I was doing some testing for some consulting with Greg Skase, and I brought the filters down, and I totally left them at his house. I was like, darn it. All right, so just sits in here. Just like that. Nice. I'll put the coffee in. And just like anything, we're just going to shake, shake, shake. And you can see here, it's just kind of sitting right there, right? Now, if we wanted to put the drip assist, it would sit there like this, or just on top of the filter. Perhaps not as secure as though it was on, let's say, this switch, right? But, secure enough. Now, here's something else that I've noticed. You can see that on if it's sitting here, it can wobble. Does that, as long as it's far enough into whatever vessel you have, I don't think it's going to come out, but that could be something to be concerned about. All right, let's get to it. We heat the water up a little bit more. Oh, we're going to get our scale. Okay, let's make sure you can see the brewing of this, right? Tear out the scale, good. Let's have our timer ready. Whoop. Okay, good. Now we've got our water all ready. Okay, so let's go to it. Just doing this pulsing. The water has started coming through the whole body. I'm going to, but I'm not really having very good control over my water flow this morning. There we go, with 75 degrees, water, milliliters, grams. I didn't do a very good job, did I? So we're not getting any bypass. But now we want to break down, make sure that everything gets saturated. 117 grams. We're just passing a minute now, so a little bit. We poured a little. We poured quite a bit. Now there is some sagging going on here, like between the things, but I mean I don't think that's anything. That just like aesthetically looks kind of strange, and I'm just probably thinking more about it because it's the open ribs. But I don't think it's going to have any kind of real effect. If I'm looking on the sides, though, like I'm not really seeing like coffee liquid coming out of the sides of the brewer, which is actually kind of interesting. We always presume that there's going to be water flowing from the sides, but really it looks like it's coming pretty straight down. 198. We're almost to 2 minutes. I'm just trying to keep the coffee saturated. Yeah, everything really is concentrated down. Like there's not really any flow happening that is coming out of the sides of it, right? It's very concentrated, which I'm actually a little bit surprised because, we just always kind of presume that the walls of the brewer are there to contain the water and keep it flowing to the center. But really, it's not, doesn't seem to be the case as much. $283, $249. Oh, I better get to that 300 mark. There we go. Better. 314. 326. I mean, the brew is going fairly well. I mean, it seems that's going as ideally as we'd like it to go. 350 grams. Bam. 350. There it is. Like a boss. I can never say any of those things with any real level of seriousness. It just feels so foolish. So how was your guys' weekend? Everything was good? All right, so that's pretty much it. We're pretty much done. 3:45. And let's see here. So how to just take it out, right? And there it is. Not too much to clean or anything. Just toss that out, and then I guess you can see that here there is some, there's a couple drops still on the bottom of the fins. And you really can't see that too well. But, I guess it's just a simple matter of rinsing it. Again, feels like there's nothing to rinse because there's really almost nothing. Like, cool. Now let's go and have a look at our elixir and just see. I mean, like what see. I'm going to see what happens. Right there's our. Can we put this in there? Okay, there we go. Good. We'll have a little bit of a. Oh, here's a nice thing. So I can use this to decant my coffee into the cup because, like if I pour it straight, then a lot of bubbles will form, right? But if I've been trying to pour it on the side like you do with a nice beer to reduce the foaminess, and it doesn't get any bubbles. But now I can do it use the Suiren, and it'll do it for me without having to worry. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, some extra benefits with the Suiren. Let's have a look at our elixir. Fairly clean, a little bit cloudy. I guess that's maybe more of a thing that has to do with the filter rather than anything else. A little bit of sniffles. All this like air conditioning is just so like difficult. Good. Chocolatey, good body, like nice strong body. like tropical fruits, maybe like jackfruit or durian, dragon fruit. Pretty good. But really, that's the coffee. We're not really that interested in evaluating the coffee. We're interested in is like seeing how this is. And all right, I think that's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a nice device. Are you going to get a dramatic difference from this that you would not get from these? If you have these and you have the V60, do you need to buy the Suiren? It just depends on how much sexiness you like in your life, right? Like that's really the bottom line for this. Like there's something to me that's sexy, and you can get the ones with the colors now. The colors, I'm ordering those to share with you as well, and I think it's just cool. It's just a cool looking brewing device. That's just like, did I need one? No. Did I have to have one? Yes, absolutely. I was like, and I just decided that, I'm not going to wait for Hario USA to get it by the end of the year. I'm like, what am I waiting for? Like, this is America, right? We have self-gratification desires here. We should gratify ourselves immediately. Like that's our God-given right here, not to wait till the end of the year. Good Lord. This is modern times. Amazon Japan will ship to America. They won't ship my favorite cereal to America, but they will ship this. So you can get this and a whole bunch of other stuff at actually really good prices. Now, the thing is that, let me touch a little bit base on this. Like you can go to JapanAzon, Amazon.com, was it Amazon.co.jp, and you can, let me just get my account here running. Like I've got a whole nother like cart that's full that I just need to pull the trigger on. But let's see, get like this Suiren, 2,500 yen, about 16 US dollars. Pay a little bit extra. I'm like, how much did that cost me? So I bought a whole bunch of stuff. I bought this. I bought the Hario Mugen. I bought the Hario Pegasus dripper. I bought the Cafec dripper. And they're all relatively, inexpensive. Like the Mugen is like $5. The Pegasus is like $3 or $3.50. The flour dripper, the Cafec, is like 1,200 yen. So that's about half the price of this. So it's like $7. And then like the bag of Cafec filters, however many come, 100 filters for like $3.50. And then the most expensive thing I bought was this like iron kettle. This Tetsubin type of kettle that looks like almost 9,380 yen, which is, now that we're at about 150 yen to the dollar, that's probably like $80. Is that right? My total order, including shipping, was $130. So it wasn't terrible, and the shipping for all of it was $40. So, I don't know what it would cost to ship just this by itself to the United States, but you know what? It's not available here. So if you want to buy it, it's probably the best way to go get it. All right. That's pretty much for today. We'll be back again as the week continues with more goodies that I picked up from Amazon Japan. And this is the Hario V60 Sweden. It does have a base in case you might be joining us later and you're like, what? Why is there no base? There is a base. You can just kind of click it in there. Right? It's like one of those things that you catch onto your face or something. All right, so that's pretty much for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Be back again tomorrow in another video with more Hario stuff. We got at least 3 more days of like goodies. We've got the Cafec flour, we've got the Mugen, we've got the Pegasus. We're gonna try them all out this week. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mom, Gray, Dan. Good to have you. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and see you next time.